Hey everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Dave Munford Podcast. Today we have a very special episode with a very special guest star, so make sure to tune in. With that being said, I'm pleased to introduce my fellow host, Stan.
Thanks, Jim. Now, on to the hottest news of today. Everyone is dying to know our opinions on Yvngdraco's new song, Swerving. Swerving is the hottest new song. I'm like, oh my god.
It's so
I've
hot.
not heard a better song in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it rivals Spaceship and Doubt. I'm putting out my opinion right here.
Hold your horses there, Stan. Rivaling Spaceship? I think that's
Yes, I will stand by that.
Okay. Hold on. Let me pull up Spaceship for a second. Let me pull up my favorite lyric of this song.
Go ahead.
Here, I'll read it, and you can determine yourself if this is worse than Switching by Yvngdraco, which it absolutely isn't, but I'll just read it anyways. Okay. They say life is only as good as you make it. Never lose control and keep on maintaining. Everybody got some to say 'cause they're changing, always been the realist. Yeah, I've always been patient. Are you kidding me?
I mean, okay, that is a good verse. I will not lie, but Switching. Look, let me just look at these lyrics for a second. You know, just Switching by Yvngdraco. Oh man, I'm so hyped for this song right now.
You're hyped for it, and it's already out.
Yes, I know, it's that good.
So what's your...
We got
Okay.
switching lanes in the Beamer. NASCAR. Two-seater, a baby hop in the fast car. I'm Rockstar. Since day one we getting rags. Counting up, going up. Yeah, we gonna blow up. How can that be beaten?
Damn. That's a really good argument. I don't know if I can... That's true. Well, let's just break that down for a second, right? We have him saying, switching lanes in the Beamer. What does that symbolize? What is Yvngdraco trying to paint an image of in that verse?
I'm not going to speak for Draco here, but I will say my personal interpretation of switching lanes in the Beamer, NASCAR. I mean, I would say that the Beamer is his life, and the lanes are like the different choices that you can make in life. And I think this is a very like philosophical statement he's making here. I think he's talking about, you know, like choosing between everything, all of the choices that you have, especially at like the end of high school, you know, where you have to like pick your college major and minor and all of that stuff, you know. It's very like forward thinking. It's ahead of his time.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Cannot say you're wrong. I mean, the thing about this song is it's beautiful, right? The lyrics are next to none. They're Shakespeare. What I am less, maybe it's just not my type, and that is, that's the melody.
What about the melody?
I mean, sure, the lyrics are nice, but it's not quite as ear-catching, you know? It's not quite as, oh, this guy knows what he's doing as Spaceship is.
Look, let me just hit play on this. All right, we're just gonna play this a little bit.
Draco.
Now, viewers, can you tell me? Can you say, look me in the eyes and say that those melodies, those bars, are worse than Spaceship and or Doubt? That's what I thought.
I mean, I can tell you something. I can tell you something right now. Spaceship has 10 times the musical artistry as Switching in terms of its originality.
I disagree with that. That's not true. There's no way. Who else would think about switching lanes in a Beamer? And then following it up with, yeah, NASCAR. Like,
Okay. But we're not talking about the lyrics here. We're talking about the music itself. The lyrics are one thing. I agree. Yngdraco's got it down. He has mastered the art of lyric writing. But you can't deny the absolute ear-catching value that Spaceship has.
I mean, you're not wrong. Spaceship is a very catchy song. But I think Switching could be almost as catchy. Now, Spaceship,
Careful what you say here.
On like take one, like first time you listen to it, it's just I'm in a spaceship 2C, right?
Right.
But I mean, with this one, you got to listen to it like multiple times. You gotta really hear, you gotta really understand the lyrics in this one, really understand the melodies, the bars. It's an experience, and you need to experience it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I haven't listened to Switching as much as I should. Because the first time I heard it, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. It can't be topped. But then I listened to all the other songs that were produced by Mangtherockstar and by Yngdraco, and I think, well, this one isn't really the best that they could do. So I didn't end up listening to it more than, I'd say, 25 times. So I feel like, yeah, that could definitely influence my opinion on it.
Yeah, I just recommend, listen to it a few more times, and I think you'll really come to find an understanding about this song.
How many times have you listened to it?
Oh, over 100, easily.
Yeah?
I just leave it in the background, it really helps me just, focus. It's the lyrics in the background, too, it's just so good.
That's true. It's like poetry.
It is. It really is.
Now, what do you think about this, these production tags, if you will? This Fly Melodies and this Black Mayo. I feel like it kind of pollutes the song almost.
I would have to disagree with you on that one. I really do think it adds an extra element to the song. They're taking something and they're making it that much better, They're taking like an existing song and they're just elevating it to new heights.
Okay. How do you think the song would change without these tags?
I feel like it would be a cleaner song, but it wouldn't have the depth that the current songs have.
I see. Yeah, and that's something definitely to take into consideration. Switching by Yngdraco is a extremely deep song, right? If you listen to it once, you just scratch the surface. You cannot possibly comprehend what Yngdraco is thinking when he's making this song. It's only, once you dive deeper that you can truly appreciate it. And I do agree with you that these production tags do add something to it, but do they add enough?
I mean, you could make the argument that it doesn't add a very meaty layer of depth, but it's there. It's an extra color on this rainbow of musical talent that is Switching, Doubt, and Spaceship.
Okay, well, I do see where you're coming from there. Do you want to just go through these lyrics? I mean, there's so much to break down. We could spend seasons on just the first line. But do you just want to quickly run over it for everybody who's listening? Get our thoughts on it.
I mean, they got our thoughts. They got my thoughts on the hook of Switching, and I think I don't think they could handle more than 4 lines of these songs. Like, it's too deep for a mortal mind to comprehend. The only reason why I can even like half understand these songs is because I've spent so long just dissecting these videos.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. So, you know what? What I suggest for the viewers at home is take a couple weeks to look at these lyrics, to listen to the song, and go through it yourself, experience it yourself. Because really, two people talking about this song does not do it justice. You have to experience it yourself. You have to get in the mind of Yvngdraco, which that takes a lot. And for most people, they can't do it. But I believe in you. I believe in the viewer. Just experience it because it's truly worth it. So, Stan, how do you feel about this fan of Mang the Rockstar account on YouTube?
Fan of Mang the Rockstar.
Have you
Okay,
heard
I
of
know
this
who you're
guy?
talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
They seem like a pretty influential channel in the the Mangverse. The Mang
The
history.
Mang Nation.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
so I don't know how to feel about them because they're taking videos of Mang and Yvngdraco, and they're just stealing it, and all they're doing is they're
Right.
just putting lyrics over it, and you could make the argument that these videos are adding more to these videos. They're making a lyric video, they're putting images in the background,
Okay.
and it's a pretty interesting video to watch. But I mean, it's stealing the clout from
Hmm.
Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco, and I I personally feel almost shame from watching them because I feel like I'm defying my hero of Mang the Rockstar
I
and
see. I see.
Yvngdraco, but I think it needs to be done because it they really are kind of the heroes of the common man. They they
Absolutely.
put out a lyric video for like understanding the godlike lyrics of Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco, and they're hard enough to understand on their original video, but this just makes it like a whole lot easier when you see it written out in text, and it's it's a lot easier to analyze, wrap your head around.
I see. Yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I have some very strong feelings about this account, right? Because sure, you can make the argument that, oh, they're adding to the songs, they're adding to their genius. But personally, I don't think this is possible. I think what they're doing here is just plain disgraceful. They're adding all the stuff, and, of course, like what you said, to the common man, this is, this is a good thing. They're getting it out to the public. They're making it easily digestible.
Right.
However, that's not how the songs were meant to be listened to or experienced, would be a better word. Um, these songs are so deep that they don't need images, that they don't need written lyrics. Just by listening to it, you are already overwhelmed by the thoughtfulness, the genius, the musicality, right? So I feel like what they're doing here is patronizing the fans, saying, "Oh, you don't understand the true genius of Yvngdraco and Mang the Rockstar. So here's some lyrics, here's some images, go." You know?
I mean, now that I think about it, I kind of agree with you on that one because the images, you could say they add, but I would say they distract from the actual audio of
Amen.
these songs.
Yes.
It's just like it's a distraction from the pure genius, and I think the common man probably will need a distraction during these videos due to the genius that is coming out of his mouth in Mang's mouth, and it's hard because this person, whoever made fan of Mang the Rockstar, they are out there for the common man, for the good of the people. Yet their actions, while helping regular day people, they're hurting Mang the Rockstar himself, Yvngdraco. Like, can you live with that? Can you live with the damage that you have caused on your idol, your producer, the guy who made all of these audios for your distractions to be put over them, and so that the regular people can enjoy it.
Right. And I want to talk about specifically this 1-hour video entitled Mang the Rockstar. Now, this video, oh man, I could say some very strong words about this video. Of course, I will not, because this is a family-friendly podcast. However,
correct.
Exactly. Thank you. However, I will say that the majority of the video is not Mang the Rockstar. It's not Yvngdraco, and it's just plain garbage. It's as if they're mocking the gods.
I mean, this 1-hour video, I've seen a few minutes of it, right? And it's almost disappointing, right? I mean, the first few minutes, right? It's spaceship, great. But after that, it kind of just devolves. There's no meaning to it. There's nothing there.
Right.
It's empty. There's no genius. It's a waste of time. It's useless. It's disgusting. I will say that video is disgusting. It is subpar to the rest of its content that I am, ashamed to have seen. But it is good content for the regular man, and it's just so hard to understand, like, the depth of these songs.
That's fair.
And I really think that those lyric videos that he's made, they provide comfort.
Comfort is a good word to use for this. Now here's the thing, though. I'll say one more negative thing about this account before we get to the positives, because there are a few positives. However, one of the biggest gripes I have with this account is look how many views they're getting. Look how many subscribers they have. Do you really think that all of those views are going back to Mang the Rockstar or Yvngdraco?
I mean, I wouldn't say so. I do think that they are kind of stealing the thunder of Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco, and that is almost detestable, I will say. Like, they're just taking the hard work, the masterpieces created by these two men,
right,
and just using it. I think that's disgusting.
It is. So, besides the comfort factor, if you will, what other positives do you believe that this account has going for it?
I would say a small positive is that it does bring awareness to Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco. Now, I have said that most of the viewers don't go to the original channels, but I mean, some do. I mean, there's probably people out there
Right.
who have never heard of Mang the Rockstar, who have never heard of Yvngdraco, and get to hear these songs due to fan of Mang the Rockstar's reach. And I would say that is a positive, but it's also a negative in there, because they're viewing the song outside of its original source. They're viewing it from this different perspective. It was not meant to be viewed in this way, and it's just it's hard. It really is difficult.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said it any better myself. I'm not sure if there's anything more to talk about with this account. I'd say that, well, I guess there are a few things that I have to say just to wrap this up. I feel like this account, yes, it brings more people to Mang the Rockstar, Yvngdraco. However, I feel like Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco can do that themselves. However, I do feel like what this account is really trying to do is take advantage of what Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco aren't doing. Right? They're taking advantage of what they're not tapping into, and that's, there's some positives about that, but there's also a whole lot of negatives, as we've discussed, as you've said, as I've said. But I feel like that's pretty much all that needs to be said about this thing.
No, hang on. I'm looking at their channel right now, and on Doubt, their lyric video for Doubt,
Okay.
I see that they have put in lyrics for different languages. Is this
Doubt or Spaceship?
I hang on. Oh, no. It's Spaceship. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But they're talking about these different languages. I mean, this starts bringing up, international markets for Mang the Rockstar. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Wow. Well, that is a very intense topic to get into, because I feel like, every single person on this earth should hear all these songs.
I couldn't agree more.
A necessity. It's beautiful, and everybody needs to experience it. However, Mang really isn't going that route. And it seems like, once again, trying to tie it back to what I said earlier, Mang the Rockstar is taking advantage of what Mang the Rockstar isn't doing himself. So that is very questionable. What do you think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't say that is taking advantage, because he's doing something that, no one has ever thought of. Pushing Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco into international markets.
I mean, that's true.
Like, that is a huge opportunity, and the fact that he jumped on that, that they jumped on that, it's huge. It's insane. Like,
yeah.
I really do think that everyone should, listen to Mang the Rockstar, like you have said, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's a priority for Mang, because if it was, it would be in his original video. Like, if he really was thinking about, a Chinese man who wanted to listen to Mang the Rockstar,
right,
he would have put the Chinese translation in the video. Same for, like, I don't know, what else is translated in here? Africanus, an Africanus man or a woman, who wants to listen to Mang the Rockstar, they can't, because this is in English, and these guys, whoever made Fan of Mang the Rockstar, they have created these translations for these people, and I think that's almost noble in a sense. It's jumping on an opportunity.
Well, I want to say something about what you said. So you said that, people like a Chinese man or an Afrikaans man can't, or woman, of course, can't experience these songs without it being
Yeah.
translated into their language. However, going
Yes.
back to what we said, I think that translating these songs into different languages kind of devalues the meaning of the lyrics. Because, okay, think about English, right? I'm on the Mangtherockstar Reddit, and one of these users insightfully commented that the English version of Spaceship is closest to the Shakespearean version of language itself. And so, Shakespeare and Ming the Rockstar have a lot in common, and he takes advantage of this by using the English language. However, would it lose its meaning if he used a different language that isn't as close to Shakespeare itself?
I mean, you bring up a good point with that one because it is in a different medium than it was supposed to be experienced in, just like the lyric videos,
Mm-hmm.
which I have said could provide comfort, but also kind of steals their thunder. And I mean, it's hard. It's hard to decide because I really do think that Fan of Mang the Rockstar, they are they're pretty forward thinking, especially with like the international markets kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And as a politically correct person, as a person who really pushes for inclusivity, especially for international markets, I would say that they should be translated. But I also think that you're also still experiencing the audio, the song in English. You're just getting the translation of
Okay,
those
I
lyrics
see.
in your language.
Mm-hmm. That is a very good point. That is a very good point. Now, unfortunately, I believe that we have to get off the topic of Ming the Rockstar. However, there is another topic that we need to uh, talk about, and that is the genius behind Saltsy Construction. We will return to the podcast after this message. For over 1,000 generations, Saltsy Construction has been dedicated to bringing you high-quality, custom-built homes for amazingly affordable prices. Every aspect of their business has been handcrafted to benefit you. So if this sounds appealing to you, which it should, call Saltsy Construction at 801-990-0405. That's 801-990-0405. Or email DMUNFORD at bhhsutah.com. That's DMUNFORD at bhhsutah.com.
Disclaimer: we are not in any way associated or sponsored by Salt City Construction and do not represent the Salt City Construction brand or whatsoever. We are simply dedicated fans. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Welcome back, everybody. So we've talked about, Fan of Mang the Rockstar. We've talked about, Switching by Yvngdraco, the new song. I think we should start talking about Mang the Rockstar's songs. Doubt. Let's start off with Doubt.
Right.
What are your opinions on the song?
Now, let me start with this. Doubt is the only song with Mang the Rockstar and Yvngdraco in it. So just off the bat, just by saying that, I've already set the stage for what this song is. It's a masterpiece. Just like all the other songs are. However, there is that distinct factor about Doubt that gives it the character that it has. And that is that it's a collaboration between these two I hate to use the word men, but Mangtherockstar and Yvngdraco. What do you feel?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I feel like Doubt really is the intro to Mang Nation. You know, the song collection made by Mang and Yvngdraco. It's really, it's a great song.
It is.
It's not his best work, but I would say that it is a very good opener to like the rest of his work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, well, let's start with this. Do you think that these two artists working together benefits them, or does it actually, you know, take away from some of the genius that each of these artists has individually?
I would say, like they're geniuses. You know, they complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
Their lyrical understanding, their musical understanding. They're both on par, and I think having them both together, it really adds something special to this song.
Okay. Okay. And what is that something special in your mind?
Personally, that special part to Doubt, I really do think it's just how like how different each of their styles are, yet how similar they are. Because Draco in this song, he's more of a fluid rapper here, but Mang, he's really articulate with his
Okay.
lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
and I really do think like the difference between the two rappers here, they're both really great at their parts, right? But since you can like compare, it really adds like an extra depth to the song, an extra layer.
That is a very good point to bring up. I mean, what I personally, well, I wouldn't say this is the part that I like the most about this song, but it is something that I really appreciate. And that is the foreshadowing in this song, right? Um, let's just start with the first line. Swerving in my lane, no, you can't stop me. Okay. Um, is that not an obvious reference to his later song, Switching, in where he says, switching lanes in the Beamer, yeah, NASCAR? I mean, come on. He references a song that hasn't even been created yet. I mean, if that doesn't get you hyped about all the possible songs, all the possible works of art that could be created that he references here in the song, then I don't know what does.
Yeah, no, you make a great point with that one. I really do think that they like to come back to this song. I've seen that in other videos, especially in Switching.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really build off of the foundation that this song has created for them, and I think that's to their benefit.
Right. And speaking of that foundation, I feel like this song sets the stage for the community that has been built around Yvngdraco and Mangtherockstar. They do have separate communities, but this song ties them together. And not only does it do that, it takes each separate community and makes them feel more personally connected with the artist themselves, with Yvngdraco and Mangtherockstar.
Right.
They constantly talk about, no, you can't stop me. Everybody doubted me. They ain't getting a piece. Everybody been talking. Right? They're including you. They're including the listener, and they're building a community separate but also intermingled.
Yeah, no, that's I didn't even notice that, and that's what's so mind blowing about this song is that you can listen to it 100 times, and when you come back on 101, you can find something new. You can
Mm-hmm.
find a new piece, a new layer of this, like, lyrically, just just delicious song. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I really do think that this song is almost perfect.
I couldn't agree with you more. And what blows my mind is that although this song is almost perfect, every song after that has, well, this might be controversial, but it has improved upon this song. So this song is almost perfect. All the other songs are perfect. What are the next songs going to be? Are they going to be better than perfect? I'm guessing, because that is the standard that this song has set. That Mangtherockstar and Yvngdraco will build upon the almost perfect and make it beyond perfect. Incredible.
I couldn't agree more. That's why I said this song, it wasn't their best work, but it's still great.
Right.
And, it's really just a great inspiration for Mang the Rockstar, for the listener. It's really just a talented piece here.
Indeed. Indeed. Now,
Would you like to talk about verse 1? Or you continue your thought.
no, verse 1. Right. Yeah, let's talk
Alright, so
about that.
the first lyric here. They were never by my side. Now they wanna be beside. They all fake I can't trust. I'ma leave them in the dust. This was all sung by Yvngdraco.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me be honest with you, Stan. And I'm not too ashamed to tell you this. But when I first heard this, I cried for a solid 10 minutes. Because it just screams, nobody understands. They were never by side. Now they want to be beside. I mean, come on. They're saying that they are, in a way, above everybody else, but everybody else doesn't see it that way. They don't see the genius. And that is personally extremely tragic.
Yeah, no, I really couldn't agree more. Verse 1 really is a great introduction to one of the first layers of this song. And that is not being understood, having your issues overlooked. It's
Right.
It's a pretty personal issue right there, and I think it's something
Absolutely.
that most viewers can resonate with. And it's just one layer in this musical lasagna, right? This song has it's just all of the layers. You got the you got Never by My Side. That's like the noodle.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the coup. The political statement of blasting off in a coup. That's like the meat and the cheese. It really is
Right.
just like a delicious song here. It's really, oh,
And much like lasagna, doubt really sticks to you. It really makes an impact on you. Right? Everything they're saying, every single layer, you absorb into you. And once you listen to the song for the first time, you are a changed person. You are not the same person as you were before you listened to Doubt by Mangtherockstar and Yvngdraco.
I could personally attest to your statement there. I really do feel like doubt has changed me as a person. I really feel more focused, more in tune with myself. And it's so profound that just one song can have such a great impact on so many people. And I really do think that everyone should go listen to Doubt. Like, if you're listening right now and you haven't heard Doubt by Mangtherockstar, just look it up. It's on YouTube, it's on SoundCloud, it's on Spotify, it's everywhere, and I
Right.
really do think that it should be heard by everyone. Shout it from the rooftops, put it on billboards. I mean, whew.
I agree. I mean, personally, I think it's an injustice that this song hasn't gotten the attention that it deserves. Right, 549 views. That should be 549 billion views. That's what I feel would truly make the world a better place. And, with your personal connection, Stan, um, I would like to talk about this line where it says, "Riding with my crew." You said that this song has made you more in tune with yourself. Although I feel like this song also makes you more in tune with other people. It builds your empathy. Riding with your crew is a completely changed experience after this song.
I agree with that. I would also say that riding with my crew, it has the meaning that you have said, but I also think it has a second meaning here.
Okay.
And it really does. I think it like brings together the people that you're with. You're listening to this song with your crew. You're going through life. You all have your personal problems. You all have your issues. And like you're all in it together. You're all riding together. You're all
Amen.
in the coupe. And it's really a changing experience.
Mm-hmm. Now, we've talked about a lot of the important lines in this song. However, I feel like we missed out on one that perhaps has the most meaning behind it out of any other line. And feel free to disagree with me, but this is "I'm Counting Blues." Think about the symbolism. I'm counting blues. First of all, he's talking about himself, right? He's talking about himself counting. And counting could be taken into account in so many ways, right? You could say, "Oh, I'm counting as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5," or "No, I'm counting as in, oh, I'm counting on that. I'm counting on you." Right? And then finally he finishes this 3-word masterpiece by saying blues. What does this mean? Blues, the color, blue has so many different meanings, has symbolism behind it that we can't even comprehend. But yet it could also mean something outside of the color. It could mean being sad. So you could say he's counting the times that he's been sad. You could take this line and turn it into so many things. It's universal, really.
Yeah, you make a really good point with that one. I really do think that "I'm Counting Blues." It is a very important lyric in this song. I think it brings out the melancholy aspect of this song. You can really feel that there's, like he's letting out his demons in this one. And he's doing it in a way that's, enhancing the listener's empathy,
Right.
Riding with the crew. He's, expressing his personal beliefs with blasting off in a coupe. And I think that, "I'm Counting Blues," I think that brings it all together. It grounds it.
I see.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you go home, when you get out of the coupe, when you stop riding with your crew and, you go to bed, you're just sitting there and you're counting your blues.
Mm-hmm.
What is blues? I don't know. It could be anything. You could say that your blues as you said, the times you've been sad. I really do think that he's talking about the color blue. I may be wrong on this, but I
Okay.
think that his bedroom is blue, and when he's laying in bed, he looks at his wall and he counts the blue. I think it's a statement about how, when you're in bed and you're falling asleep, you're remembering all the good times and you're also remembering all the bad times. And that's why it brings
Mm,
together this song. Because, that's what this song is about, really. It's about, riding with your crew and also being misunderstood.
right.
And it's just very profound here.
I couldn't agree more. Now, what I find interesting about this lyric, um, that I believe accentuates what you're talking about, this double meaning, is how Yvngdraco pronounces this line. Could you play that for us for a sec?
Of course, here is Mangtherockstar saying, "I'm counting blues."
I cannot lose. This my life I'm gonna choose. In the hills I'm counting blue. They were
I mean, what more is there to say? He said it all himself. Just with pronouncing that line slightly differently from the rest of the song, he's made that line more important. He's cemented that line as the foundation of the foundation, if you will. And personally, I think that's incredible. Just with that little tweak, he changes the meaning of not only that layer of counting blues, but also essentially the entire song.
Yeah, no, it really is a profound statement, especially, accentuating the O, blue
Hmm.
ooze, right? It's it's really it adds extra depth to it too,
Hmm.
because we've already, we've talked about how, like, the meanings of this lyric and, the accentuation of the O. What do you think that means?
I can't even begin to tell you. And that's the magic of this song and all of their other songs, is that sometimes no explanation is needed. Because sometimes it's just incomprehensible, the true genius that they're putting forth.
I
I
couldn't
mean,
agree
if you
more.
have any attempts at trying to figure out what this means, go right ahead, but I'm at a loss.
I'm also, I'm also pretty confused with this one too, but my best guess here is, he's accentuating the O, right? What does the letter O mean? I mean, it could be just, O, but it
Right.
could also be OH, O.
Okay.
And it could be like, maybe a realization. Maybe while he's laying in bed, counting the blues, he, maybe he, realizes his emotions, realizes all of the, like, the issues that he needs to talk about, and that's how he came up with this song. Maybe
Oh
that
my.
O is really just giving us insight on the reason behind the song, the reason why people needed to hear doubt.
You know what? I think you're absolutely correct. Congratulations. I mean, wow. I never thought of that way. That thought of that this way. And that's the beauty of these songs. You talk to somebody else, you talk to another member of Mang Nation, and they have something different to say about it. And personally, I am very excited to talk about Mang the Rockstar himself and get his interpretation on perhaps this line and lines in his other songs. But I agree. I mean, this this debate, this conversation over the true meaning of art of this art that they have created, that's what really builds a community. That's what builds a brand, and that's what builds Yvngdraco and Mangtherockstar up from nothing, living in the projects, to, world-class fame.
I couldn't agree more. I really feel like you hit all of the points. You hit all of the nails on the head. I don't think I have anything else to say on this song.
Me neither. So do you think it is time to move on to the mainstay of Mangtherockstar, what made him famous, and that is Spaceship?
Yeah, I think it's time.
All right, so Spaceship by Mangtherockstar. I think the best place to start would be just the title, Spaceship. What does that mean? What does the word spaceship mean in Mangtherockstar's head? Well, let's break down the word itself. Space, ship. He's in space, he's in this vast, unknown void, and he's in a ship. This nice, comfortable, cozy little place inside the massive void of space. And personally, I feel that the symbolism behind this is what makes the entire song. He's saying he is in his own little world, and outside of that world is chaos, is nothing. He is the world. I mean, what do you think about that, Stan?
I mean, I agree with your statement there, but I have a different interpretation of Spaceship. I think Spaceship really just symbolizes his career as a rapper.
Oh,
He's taking off, he's leaving, the foundation, the station of, doubt, and he's moving to the stars. He's going up into space. He's rocketing up there. He's growing himself as a rapper. He's getting experience. He's moving into the unknown, the new frontier, and it's it's really a powerful message here that he's making with just the title.
right. That's an interesting point you bring up there, that it could symbolize his rapping career. Because I believe in one of these lines he mentions that he started from the projects, right? He started from nothing, and now he's rocketing outside of, mortal comprehension. He's becoming something that truly is wonderful.
Right. And I mean, I think the best part about this is including two-seat. He's including that he's bringing you along this out of this world journey that is his rap career. His godlike, flying through space, going past all the stars. He's passing everyone. Catch me outside, like all of that. And he's unbeatable. Like he's past the competition, man.
So then, Stan, do you think that when he says, "Baby, tell me, would you ride for me, die for me," is he referring to us as baby?
I would say it's also it's kind of like doubt, with the word you. I think baby could be anyone. It could be an actual baby that he's kidnapping and putting on this spaceship. I mean, I feel like that's who. I don't know if that's possible, but I wouldn't put it behind Mang. I feel like that would he would do that for his rapping career. Think about the headlines. Mang the rock star steals a baby, puts him on a spaceship, and just blasts off. That would be a great story. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here.
Give him clout.
So, as I was saying, baby, it could be, your friend,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe a partner that Mang has,
Okay.
mark, that'll be a question we're asking in the interview.
Oh, absolutely.
It could also be, maybe family. He could be taking his family along in this rapping journey that he's going on, this epic journey rivaling, everyone, everything.
Now, this certainly is the question of the day. Who is Baby? Because, as he says in Doubt, everybody doubted on me. So if he's saying that everybody doubted on me, who could be this one person that's going with him on the ride? Could it be Yvngdraco? Could it be somebody close to him? Or maybe, and I'm going to tie this back to what I said earlier, and this is what I truly think, that it is the Mang Nation that he's bringing with him, that he's rocketing up towards space, flying past the haters. He is in a spaceship, 2-seat. Baby, tell me, would you ride for me, die for me?
You see, I feel like this is another double meaning statement here, because I agree that it's also Mang Nation, but I also feel like, you need to turn to the Bible to answer this question here. I mean, think about it. Everyone doubted God, everyone doubted Mang. And if you look at this, maybe he forgave someone. He forgave someone for doubting them. And,
Okay.
Baby, tell me, would you ride for me, die for me, right? He's forgiving them, and he's letting them on this journey with him in the spaceship.
I see. So do you think... Well, okay. I agree with your statement. However, he does mention his haters a lot in this. So, do you think that that it is just one individual person that he's forgiving, or is it everybody? Personally, I highly doubt that it's all the haters that he's forgiving, because he says, have a lot of enemies living on my planet. Other things that he says about his haters that lead me to believe that, okay, well, he hasn't truly forgiven everybody. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I would say, right. Hang on, I'm okay. Tell me, what were we talking about again?
Who's Baby?
Okay. So I would think that Baby is, an individual person, right? Because, if you look at God in the Bible again, he doesn't forgive everyone.
Right.
He just forgives, specific people that put their faith into him, right? And I think that's what he's doing with Mang here. And, it's really... It really makes me ask, how does Mang know who to forgive? How does he know who put his faith into him? Is Mang all-knowing? Is he all-powerful? That is the question.
I mean, that could certainly be the case. Think about all the songs that he's put forth. They're perfect. Perhaps better than perfect. What mortal could do that? But I think we're getting off topic a little bit, so let's stick to the song and maybe try to find an answer within the song. Should we just start with verse 1 here? Truth be told, you will never understand it. We was living in them project, didn't have anything. So we're always the suspect, god damn it.
That is those are some pretty profound lyrics here. When I first heard those, I remember I was sitting on my couch. I was listening to it on my phone, and I just had this epiphany. I felt like my empathy, expanded by 5 times. I really felt my third eye open, if you believe in chakras. But I mean, truth be told, you will never understand it. That could be anything, and that's why it's such like a profound statement here,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really talking about how, there's so many issues out there. There's so many things that you don't understand yet, especially in the context of this song, and it really makes you take a step back and think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like this speaks to the nature of the rest of the song. Truth be told, you will never understand it. He's giving us a sign here. He's saying, okay, you will try your best to comprehend what I'm putting forth. You'll try your best to understand the art that I'm creating. But in the end, you'll never understand it all. Because, once again, he's building up that barrier. He's saying, okay, you're my community, you're my nation, and I'm putting this out there for you to be enlightened by. However, I still need some things to myself. You cannot comprehend everything that I have going on inside my mind. And
yeah, and that yeah. No,
Mhm.
you can continue. Sorry.
Don't worry about it, Stan. And what's also fascinating is in the very next line, he humbles himself. He says, "We was living in them project, didn't have anything, so we're always the suspect." And then he invokes God's name. What were you gonna say, Stan?
Sorry, I was gonna say, right, that it really just brings us back to doubt. The foundation that he's made everything off of. He drew the line in the sand, and he says that some things you will understand,
Right.
and some other things that you may not understand. That is his to keep.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree when you say he humbled himself, and I think that's very important for Mang. He's a humble, a humble idol to look up to.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And I feel like when he says, "So we're always the suspect," he's telling this story. He's telling a story through the entire song, right? It's not just, um, well, it's stories layered on top of stories. And we can contrast that with doubt, where it's just layers of meanings. It's not necessarily a story, but it's just one lesson on top of the other. This one, it's a story with lessons on top of one another. And that's why I think Spaceship is more complex than Doubt, but that's also what makes it that much better than Doubt.
Yeah, I think that really brings us back to the Bible again. Because there's so many stories that have so many meanings in this,
Mhm.
and this is just one story out of the many that could be made from Mang the Rockstar. How
Right.
many more stories does he have that he can create? These profound, world-shattering imagery that he can, write down.
Mhm.
Like, it's
Sing
it
even.
almost gives me a headache on how many different possibilities there are that
Mhm.
Mang the Rockstar could explore.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? There you go. That could be another meaning of spaceship. Many people say space is infinite. The universe is infinite. And he's blasting off into an infinite possibilities that he can explore, that he can look into. Um, and he's doing this before anybody else can. And
Right.
I feel it's interesting how you bring up the Bible here. Because while I do feel like it's a bit controversial to say that, oh, maybe he is above us all. But, that could be controversial not only because, well, other people have different belief systems, but also the fact that Mang himself seems to deny this, right? He says, living in dem projects, once again, he's humbling himself. He's also saying, if you look at the last line of verse 1, devil in my shoulder, seeing things in 3D. It seems as if he's still influenced by other things, so maybe he's not, all powerful. But there is some debate there to say, okay, well, maybe he's not all powerful, but he is certainly something bigger.
I couldn't agree more. And what I find really interesting about that last line in verse 1 is he brings up, seeing things in 3D. Is this his commentary on the world? Is he saying that maybe we're living in a 3D simulation? Is this like, the word of the man above giving us... Is this the word of the man above giving us, insight on, the world that we're in? Is this, the truth? Is he speaking the truth here?
Right. And Stan, as much as I love you, and I truly do love you, and I will never stop loving you, I feel like we need to stay grounded here, because Mang himself is staying grounded, right? He's using the mortal world to tell his stories. So I feel like we should stay in that same mindset to analyze this song, because that's close to the mindset which he had while making the song, or at least that's the impression that I'm getting. What other lines do you think that could be taken as multiple different meanings?
I think verse 2, it's something we haven't talked about yet. It brings up a lot about, like, the lower times in Mang's life. He's lost in the spaceship. He's lost his spot in the world. I think that's him feeling a little, confused about how his rapping future should be. He's blasted off. He's started from off that foundation, and he doesn't know where he wants to go. He feels like he's left what he knew, and now he's moving into the great unknown, and he doesn't know where it's going to take him.
His life's a swirl.
To take him. Yeah, that too. That's also a very influential line. What are your thoughts on "Now my life is a swirl"?
Well, I was just saying that reinforces exactly what you're saying. He is in an unfamiliar environment. He's blasting off from the world he knows. Now, what I'm not the biggest fan of is his mention of drugs in this verse. He says,
"Oh, no, I agree.
Couldn't do the right drugs, and then this ecstasy got me on sway." I think it's controversial. However, I would like to say that I think it makes his situation seem more desperate. Right, his situation on Earth, where he's not in the spaceship to see in space, his situation on Earth is terrible, right? He has all these haters. They don't understand him. They can't possibly comprehend him. So he's doing all these things that are terrible. But once he gets in that spaceship, he blasts off in his spaceship two-seat, and he becomes who he really is.
Yeah, no, I really do think that line is exploring the more degenerate side of music, drugs,
yes,
all of that other kind of stuff, and it's kind of refreshing and also appalling at the same time. Mangtherockstar would do that. I
right.
didn't know. I didn't expect that. I thought he was, above that, but it
Mhm.
seems, he's had different experiences, and it feels like it has an effect on him, and that's why he talks about his spaceship so much. In my personal opinion, this is what I think. I
Right.
think he's talking about his spaceship, his rapping career, whatever else the spaceship could represent, right? And it's an escape from
Mhm.
all of that, from the hardships, the pain back on Earth.
Right. Right. I mean, I agree with you fully. And personally, I'd also I'd also like to tie it back to what we said earlier. It humbles him. It makes him almost on the same level as everybody else. He's saying, "Oh, I did these things that are not the greatest thing to do." I'm like you all, although I'm also so much different.
Yeah, that's why I feel like this is a very spiritual song. I feel like you could pray to this, really. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
great music just close your eyes, listen to it, and just feel the music. Really feel it. Don't listen,
Mhm.
but feel, smell, taste it. And if you aren't doing that while listening to Spaceship, you're not getting the full experience. You're not
Right.
really opening yourself to Mang the Rockstar.
Mhm. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to this song and just it completely flew over my head like a spaceship two-seat. Baby, tell me what, would you ride for me, die for me? Now that I'm up, they can get rid of me, sick of me. Um, it just flew over my head because I didn't truly experience it. I didn't smell it, I didn't taste it, I didn't feel it. But once I, got finished listening to it, I'd say 252 times, then I finally realized I'm doing something wrong. Then I listened to it 471 times, I counted, but I didn't listen to it that time. I felt it. And the feeling that I got inside of me the first time that I felt it instead of listened to it was completely unlike anything I've ever felt before. And that is really the draw of Mang the Rockstar himself and this song. It's so deep that your body will stir with passion, with understanding for this song.
That is a great point there, and I really do think that this is also bringing up the fact, this is firsthand facts and logic that his haters are wrong. All of his haters that have listened to this music and said, "Oh, it's bad, it's not good,"
Right.
they're not really feeling the music. They're just
Mhm.
listening. They're just scratching the surface of Mang the Rockstar, and I
Right.
feel like that's on them. And that's why Mang the Rockstar is blasting past them all in their spaceship 2C.
Yeah. So I think with that being said, we can maybe narrow it down a little bit who this baby is. Um, so we said that all the people who don't feel his song, who only listen to it, who only take it on the surface, those he doesn't forgive. He blasts off beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So who would be these people, this person, this group, whatever, that actually feels his song? And maybe that's who Baby is.
All right, I feel like, I feel like the people who really feel his song, the baby that he's talking about in this lyric, I think you would call them the Mang elect. The people who are chosen
Okay.
through their hard work and their dedication, their ability to feel to connect with Mang the Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're the people who he's talking about. He's the one, the only, the people that are, you know, above the haters, above the regular, you know, normal people that
Right.
just, you know, listen to it.
Feel it.
Yes. The elect, Mang's elect, are the people who he's talking about. Who is Baby. The Mang elect is Baby. But that is my personal opinion. Do you have?
Okay.
Do you think Baby is something else?
I mean, truly, I am not sure. I don't think anybody can truly be sure, of course. But I think Baby could perhaps be referring to a literal baby. Or literal baby. Because, okay, think about this. Babies, they don't think, they feel. They perhaps they perhaps they perhaps are the people, are the beings that understand Mang the Rockstar the most. And I feel like he's saying that everybody who feels instead of thinks will become this baby, will become the babies of the world.
I mean, I feel like I agree with you on that one, you know. But this brings up a philosophical question here. Since babies feel instead of think, and the Mang elect are the people who feel Mang's songs instead of, you know, thinking about them, right? Are babies the Mang elect? Or is it anyone who can feel the song? Is it only babies, or is it everyone? And even then, are the elect, you know, the people who feel the song, are they...
Right.
Was everyone a part of the elect, you know? Since all of us were babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were we all part of the Mang elect and just lost that as we aged, as we grew older?
Okay, Stan.
What are your thoughts?
I like what you're bringing up here. But personally, I feel like if everybody were the Mang elect, if everybody were babies, then, you know, he still mentions all these haters. He still mentions how he's blasting past them. So I don't think everybody can be the Mang elect. Actually, I'd like to refer to one of the last lines here. It says, everybody got some to say 'cause they're changing. Always been the realist? Yeah, I've always been patient. So once again, he's saying everybody has something to say because they're changing, but he himself has always been the realist. He's beyond everybody else. And maybe perhaps this baby can come with him, can, you know, watch him at work, can watch his masterpieces, can listen and feel his masterpieces. But in reality, he's the only one who's been the realist. He's the only one who's been patient. He wants to make it to the top. That's where he's aiming. He wants to make it to the top. That's where he's aiming.
You know, I really feel like this proves that there is evil in all of us. You know, because I still stand by that babies are the Mang elect. You know,
Right.
and I feel like, you know, since he still talks about his haters, I feel like there's just some people that are, you know, born with hatred for Mang. You know, they are, they just have it within them.
Right.
And no matter what you do, they're just gonna continue that. And I feel like it's very sad that we all have, you know, a hatred of Mang in our hearts. But I feel like if we really open up, you know, and we really just feel the song, become if we become the baby, you know, I feel like we could all just improve ourselves.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy? You know how we talked about this being stories layered on top of stories, and those stories have separate meaning? This could possibly be one of the meanings to one of the stories, and that is, are humans naturally good, or are they naturally evil? Are they naturally babies, or are they naturally haters? And what's crazy is we spent all this time talking about this one story, about this one meaning, and yet there are so many other stories, so many other meanings in this song. We have barely scratched the surface, even though we've dived so deep. Comparatively, it's so little.
This really is a spiritual song. You know, it really opens people up. You know, it helps people in tune with themselves. You know, it helps people tune in to the rest of the world, to the nation of Mang. You know, it really
Right.
is. It's the advanced introduction. You know,
Mm,
Doubt was just like the basics. You know, line in the sand. The foundation that everything is built off of. But this
right.
this goes into more specifics. You know, with his story of the spaceship, and you know, either stealing a physical baby or stealing the Mang elect and bringing them on this journey. It's crazy.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I am so excited for his next song because this song is, like you said, it's just an advanced introduction. Is the next song gonna be another introduction? And then that, I mean, that just makes me think, what is gonna be the end song? What if these are the introductions? What is going to be the real meat of Ming the Rockstar? And that could be something that we ask him ourselves, because guess what? We have an interview with Ming the Rockstar himself. Can you believe it, Stan?
I cannot. I am so excited for this.
Okay, well, I mean, I feel like we've talked about Spaceship enough, so let's go to that interview.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna have Jamal. He's going to be asking the questions today. I'm just gonna be recording,
I mean,
but it's yeah. On to the interview.
hello, Munford Nation. Hello, Mang Nation. Today we have a very special guest, Mang the Rockstar himself. Most widely known for his sensational song Spaceship, Mr. Mang has managed to reach wide audiences with his ingenuity in the field of rap. Welcome, Mr. Mang.
Thank
How are
you.
you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Good to have you guys here.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yeah,
So we have a couple questions for you.
yeah, for sure. Shoot that.
I'm just gonna start with the first one. So your most recent song and the most popular one is Spaceship, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So where did you get like your inspiration from for that song? Like the spaceship part of it and everything.
So, my I wouldn't say manager, but my friend who makes beats, he
Mm-hmm.
sent me the beats. He was like, "Yo, I got this cold ass beat. Like, I was hoping you would like jump into it, you know. And I give it a try. Like, I'm not even gonna cap. Like, I was in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, send it through. And I was just listening, and
Mhm.
like, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And I'm like, I don't have any topic to rap about. And I asked him like, what do you want it to be about? He was like, you know, I kind of like hoping is about like, you know, other world, you know. And I was like, bet
Nice.
I'll call Spaceship. And that's when I just started. And the melody just came in my head.
Mhm.
I was like, nah, and
Dude,
that's
it's
how it
so
happened.
catchy.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is a hit, bro. Like like, you know, we gotta make it work. And
Mhm.
I hit up my friend to use his studio, and he was like, yeah, I'm free Saturday, and that's when he recorded it.
Awesome. Awesome. So you have somebody else make your beats?
Yeah, I don't make my own beats. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Um
All right, hang on. I'm
so
gonna interrupt for a second.
yeah, go ahead.
Could you turn on your light, Mang, if you like, if you're comfortable with that?
Turn on my light. Am I like dark? I'll change the spot. I'm just like
Yeah.
using this. Hold on. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So we'll keep talking about Spaceship for now.
Yeah.
So how long did that song specifically take you to record you know, everything else that goes into making a song?
So I have my hook in like 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And like the first verse and second verse, you know, I kind of like take a break, um, here and now, and you know, it takes me like a week to like finish the whole lyrics and to record. We recorded in like 3 hours, and
Mm.
you know, he mastered it, and if he said like the ad lib don't sound right, then I went back like the next day, and we
Right.
worked on the ad libs for like another hour, and I released it on July the 4th. You know,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Um but so then do you have somebody else also like mix the song?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My
Okay.
friend Tang Tang, he makes the sound for me.
Mhm.
I'll go to his house, his home studio. Yeah, and you know, his home train is really good. I respect him.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. So then who makes your album covers?
My album covers. Um, I make the album covers,
Oh,
and
really?
if it's not me, it's my friend Marco. He goes
Mhm.
by the name of Yvngdraco.
Right, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. He make music too. We've been like friends for some times now. You know, a really cool
Mhm.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, your first song, right, Doubt, was with him.
yeah.
Um so let's talk about a few of these lines here in Spaceship. The first one we'll start with is I'm feeling worthless like a puzzle, please fix me. Do you want to break that down or
So basically, like the whole line, like behind that is, um, like you know, in life you gotta go through some times when like you know you're hopeless and like don't find a purpose, but you just have to push yourself, or you
Mhm.
know, if you know anyone who's going through that time, you just have to help them up, you know. If it means to, you know, spend some time with them and, you know, talk to them, like go for it, you know. That's like what's like behind a real human, you know.
Nice. Nice. Um and I guess we'll do one more line.
Mm-hmm.
and that is, "You don't want to be controlled. It gets ugly. They'll die or be sold." Are you like speaking from past experience, or is this just something that you thought of?
Yeah. Like I'm speaking from past, and
Mm-hmm.
like the whole like crisis that's going around right now, like
Mm-hmm.
COVID controlling us, and like Black Lives Matter. Um, it's hard. Like I'm not black or anything, but you can imagine like what they're going through. It's just like
Right.
was judging them, and just not being who you are, like being controlled, and now like having the freedom to do anything, or like having the freedom to pursue what you want is like what's the point of living? So you don't want to be controlled,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to lose your true identity just because you want the fame.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Well, I guess we should move on to Doubt, which was your first song, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how was your experience working with young Draco on that song? Like, did he write half of it and then you wrote the other half, or did you write all of it and then he did? How did you collaborate with that?
So Dowd, we just search up the beat from YouTube,
Mm,
and we're like, like when I have free time with like Yvngdraco, like most of my friend, I was just like, when we have nothing else to do, I was just like put on a beat and start freestyle, and like if it sounds catchy, I'll be like, I gotta write that down, jot that down, and
right.
that's how like mostly how I made like most of my song. Like, stay tuned. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I put the beat on and I was like, swerving in my lane, no, you can't stop me. Riding with my crew. I wrote the whole hook. Like, is this like a freestyle, like under a minute? And
Mm-hmm.
the verse took us, I don't know, 2 days. He wrote his verse. I wrote the hook and my verse, and yeah, we recorded in like a week because of school, and I
Mm-hmm.
have soccer practice and stuff, and we like it wasn't like professionally done. It was homemade, like not like spaceship, but
Yeah.
we all start from the bottom.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a pretty good song too. I mean, comparing that to Spaceship,
Yeah,
you guys did. It seems like you guys did pretty good with what you had. So
yeah.
pretty cool.
We try to use like our what we have into like the best
Hmm.
possible way, and just try and sort everything out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, now considering like what do you plan on doing in the future with this? Like, do you consider monetizing any of your songs, making money off of any of them? Like, do you see this as your future or just something you want to do on the side?
So of course, like I want to blow up, and
Hmm.
just like make a like living out of this, but um like I'll try my best from my side to keep making music, and like the whole point is just like for for me to make a better life off of this. um
Uh-huh.
I just want to keep pursuing it. This is like something I enjoy, so I, we'll see like where it takes me, but um like for now it's just like soccer, school, and
Hmm.
music. That's like my top three. I'm sorry about the noise.
Oh, no problem.
All right.
Nice. Um, well, considering that, do you have any plans on making merch? I mean,
I
no.
don't, but like especially I'm I'm not getting the fame
Okay.
yet, but like if it
Right.
blows out, I have some ideas, like for a hoodie and some design that I want to release, but we'll see where it takes me. And yeah,
Nice. I would legitimately buy that. So, if you're ever considering it, you have a customer.
I bet. Let's go. Yeah, first customer.
um. So, what about your future songs? Do you have anything in the works right now? Can you tell us anything about that?
So, my friend, he's a pretty busy guy. He make his own music too. And I don't know. I'm planning to release at least a song this year. I recorded it. I don't know, 4 songs already. We're just like trying to match the perfect timing. We don't want to
Uh-huh.
rush into things.
Right.
We want like the best quality that we are provided with. So yeah, I'm planning to release one more song this year, and yeah, next year we'll see.
Have you come up with any ideas of what that would be about? I mean, can you tell us even?
Yeah, so the song like is all about me going into a breakup and
Mhm.
like the struggles of what I'm dealing with, and how I'm just like pouring my heart out into the music that I'm making.
Right.
Yeah, just like what I'm going through right now.
hmm
Yeah,
Well, I'm excited about that. So,
thank you.
um, how have people responded to you, like, making music and being a rapper and all that?
Like personally, my parents support me. Like they're like,
Nice.
I see something, your grandpa, he's saying to you and stuff, and they like I got this supports from my family, friends,
hmm
and yeah, everybody like said they liked it, and I appreciate it. I, I'm just trying to do something not just for me, but like people who could relate to it,
Right.
and yeah, people like say they like it, and yeah, and I appreciate like the support and stuff, especially when you're on the come up.
hmm That's cool. That's cool. Um. Okay, so this question's a little touchy,
Shoot it.
but okay, so your first song, "Doubt," it used a word that some
Ah,
people might consider a little bit controversial.
yeah.
Considering today's political climate, how do you feel about your song's uses of that word?
Well, I understand both like point of view.
Right.
Some might say it's okay, this is a word, but some might take it personal. But uh, comparing to like where I grew up, and stuff, um, I know like from my appearance, like I'm not supposed to say, but
Uh-huh.
like you know my past and like what I've been through, like I'm not saying I should say, but it's just I even try to change like twist the word, but it's just like
Right.
the original, and I just leave it in there. It's just like don't take it personal. Don't jump on me.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I understand like if people take it personal and stuff, but it is what it is.
Nice. Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Get that perspective too. So I think we're done with most of the questions we have. I mean, anything you want to say right now, go ahead, just say it.
I bet. Like thank you. I, I think I just hit like 1,300 on YouTube
hmm
and on iTunes and SoundCloud and Spotify, I think I hit 2,000. I appreciate it. It's like still growing.
Yeah,
Just keep listening to it. Like share, like, and comment. That's
for
all I can
sure.
say. Yeah, just
For
stay
sure.
tuned for the new music.
Okay, well, I do have one more question for you, and that is, are you single?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that wraps it up pretty much.
Mhm.
So thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah. For sure.
We'll upload this to our channel. We'll send you the link to the video, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. No problem. No problem. All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. Peace out,
See ya.
guys. See ya.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was Mangtherockstar himself. We gave him a couple questions, and he answered very sincerely. That was very nice. So, now we have to go back to our regularly scheduled podcast. Thank you for watching episode of season of the Dave Munford Podcast. We talked about a lot of music and a lot of artists. We had a lot of fun, and we made friends along the way. We hope to see you in episode of season of the Dave Munford Podcast.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button and contact your friends. Seriously. Use any and all forms of contact. Email, phone, fax machine, printer, MySpace, Instagram, Twitter, 4chan, Reddit, Newsgrounds, Snapchat, iMessage, GroupMe, House Party, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Facebook, Line, Viber, TikTok, WeChat, Zoom, Google Meets, Google Hangouts, Google Meets, Google Hangouts, Skype, Google Meets, FaceTime, Google Hangouts, Google Classroom, Twitch, Google Hangouts, YouTube, Google Meets, Vimeo, Google Hangouts, Dailymotion, and Google Meets. Disclaimer: we are not sponsored by Google Meets, the best place for meetings, group hangouts, and staying up to date on the latest gossip during quarantine. Trademark.
Remember to rate the video, subscribe to the Dave Munford Podcast, the best place for all your musical needs. Trademark. Disclaimer: we do not own the trademark for the Dave Munford Podcast. All rights reserved. Disclaimer: we have no rights to the Dave Munford Podcast. Copyright 2020. Disclaimer: we do not own a copyright for the Dave Munford Podcast. Hit that notification bell icon to stay up to date on the Dave Munford Nation and like the video. Finally, remember to tune in next time in episode of season to listen all about your favorite people, places, things, and ideas, and adjectives, and verbs, and adverbs. And remember to stay salty.
Disclaimer: the Dave Munford Podcast is possible due to the continuous support of Salt City Construction's full-service experience bridging the gap between buyers and builders for a more satisfying home construction process. Color selection, chain orders, red lines, engineering, title, and lending communication are managed in-house for a low-stress, personal experience. Our financial sources not only fund building in our subdivisions, but facilitate the purchase of lots for our buyers during home without the anguish of traditional construction lending. In addition, buyer can share building progress on Facebook and Instagram. Our homes are carefully crafted to be a place of quality and comfort for years to come. Salt City Construction homes meet the demands of today's economy. Location and price point determines the unique standards of each subdivision. Our various craft and style exterior options include stone and full stucco with 30-year shingles and high-efficiency HVAC. Our interior options allow you to spend your money where you want. You are not forced to pay a higher base price with upgrades included. Our buyers have a unique opportunity to create a dream home without paying custom home prices. Our program is truly unbeatable. Salt City Construction is a talented team of professionals with decades of experience that represent the very best in real estate. Our highest priority is complete customer satisfaction through efficient construction timelines and effective communication. Passing the savings of our incredibly low bill feed to the buyer offers Moore's home at an unbeatable price. We're confident you will share your outstanding home building experience with friends and family. Disclaimer: we are in no way sponsored or supported by Salt City Construction or Dave Munford. Trademarked. Disclaimer: do not look up Dave Munford. Disclaimer: do not look up Dave Munford. Disclaimer: do not look up Dave Munford. Disclaimer, we are not in any way responsible for injury, death, or other forms of bodily or psychological harm to the viewer, listener, or fan of the Dave Munford Podcast. Additionally, everything that we say is a joke. Additionally, some things we say are not a joke. Additionally, do not sue us. Additionally, all audio and video credits go to Mangtherockstar. Additionally, none of the video and audio credits go to Mangtherockstar. Additionally, we give a special thanks to WeVideo, Pixlr.com, Audacity, Discord, Google Meets, the best place for meetings, group hangouts, and staying up to date on the latest gossip during quarantine. And Mangtherockstar for making this all possible. Stay salty, batteries not included.